Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. And it would seem that Wiz Khalifa, Mr. Black and Yellow himself, has Korean friends. Honest to God. Which we only know because it came up in conversation, because there's a lyric on a track from his latest album, the song Hot Now, where he says, smoke got my eyes looking Korean, which I guess in sort of Wiz's defense, it was actually sort of not in his defense, actually doubly not in his defense for a couple of reasons, but lines like these have long been excused in hip-hop for decades. I mean, there are tons of rappers, some very classic, on incredibly influential records where they say that the marijuana smoke, it has their eyes looking Japanese, Chinese, Asian, what have you, to basically any subset of Asian culture is referenced. I'm sure has been referenced at some point. So Wiz, I'm sure, who doesn't seem like a person who pays attention to when there are cultural shifts, probably just went into this assuming, hey, you know, that line's fair, even though it's been said dozens and dozens and dozens of times. And hey, maybe I want to be a little bit more original. Maybe I want to take a different approach. Maybe I want to say something else. But Wiz is not exactly known for his originality. So of course he said the line and is reacting to some of the negativity that he has received on the part of the line. And he doesn't seem to think it's a big deal. His Korean friends, according to him, don't seem to think it's a big deal. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to come here and preach and say everybody needs to care about this. Oh, this is so racist. Oh, my God. You know, what annoys me most about this situation is that it seems like kind of a double standard because, I mean, rappers seem like they have free reign to sort of spit lines like this, talk about yellow bitches and that sort of thing. And Asians are supposed to just sort of stand there and just be like not offended and be totally cool with it. And yet, you know that it doesn't go both ways. It doesn't go both ways. And, you know, hey, you could argue that, well, because hip-hop is not a brand of Asian culture, hip-hop is well within its right to get angry at a Rich Brian for formerly calling himself Rich Chigga. And of course, in the inception of the genre, where its roots lie, you'd be completely correct. However, hip-hop does borrow so heavily, even to this day, from Asian culture. I mean, you have rappers today that are relatively popular, Made in Tokyo, Asian Doll. You have classic records like 36 Chambers. You know, Wu-Tang's entire legacy is built on Asian culture. You know, I mean, there are a lot of huge albums in hip-hop that borrow heavily from Asian culture. You know, even that new Post Malone music video with 21 Savage. I mean, it was a total Kill Bill ripoff, but still. Kill Bill is hugely influenced by Asian culture and karate movies and the like. So, I mean, look, that's just kind of a surface level comparison there. We could go much deeper into it because whether you're talking about Asian music, Asian film, you know, the martial arts, which come up in hip hop again and again and again and again in the imagery, in the lyrics, in music videos, throughout the genre's history. I mean, I'll probably say maybe not as much in the 80s because Wu-Tang had a lot to do with sort of bringing that influence to the table. But hip hop has been hugely influenced by Asian culture. And yet, still at the table, there is very little in terms of like representation or respect for Asian rappers when they are making good stuff. They're either being told they're culturally appropriating or they're ripping the genre off or they shouldn't be allowed to participate, despite the fact that, again, hip-hop culturally appropriates so much fucking shit from Asian culture. That whole fucking Nicki Minaj Chun-Li shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, okay, so people are supposed to get offended at 88 Rising, or, you know, not respect the work that they have put in, because guys like Rich Brian, guys like Joji are huge right now, gigantic. You know, some of the biggest artists in the scene at the moment, and to much of the hip hop industry, you would think they don't even fucking exist, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. So, I mean, I'm not so much upset about this particular line as much as I am upset about the very obvious double standard going on. And, you know, at the end of the day, you could say, hey, who are you to complain about it? And hip hop is a relatively insular culture. You know, hip hop will do whatever the fuck it wants, but not so much anymore. It's the zeitgeist. It's mainstream. When you get as popular as hip hop is currently, you know, you're going to have these growing pains. You're going to have these complaints. You're going to find yourself in a situation where you're kind of sharing the culture large scale because you're selling it commercially. It's popular across the world. You know, you have less control over what the rules are and who dictates it, because, again, more people are listening to it and participating in it. This is something that fans of Asian descent could legitimately take to heart. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Is this a double standard? Is this line offensive? Is this line racist, as some people are calling it? Should Wiz have thought twice about putting out a line like this, or is it just not a big deal? You let me know, and I will catch you guys in the next video. You're the best, you're the best, you're the best. Anthony Fantano, forever.